a sore throat. Got like 5 hours of sleep last night, and today is like gonna be a long day of training today, man. You know, got like probably a 15 plus hour day ahead of me. I'm gonna be carrying heavy ass weights on my body all day long, but yeah. Today I want to talk about how you should see your problems in life and why you should start seeing them as a test, you know. I used to avoid all problems at all costs because I was trying to optimize a perfect life, you know, a smooth ride, no problems at all, never occurring, nothing happening, perfect sleep, perfect workout routines, perfect diets, perfect relationships, perfect dating life, perfect everything, you know. And you know, I think it's good to aim for that stuff, but like you don't want to just have to rely on things being perfect in order for you to take action and change your life, you know. Because life is not perfect, man, you know. I remember when I was back home in Hawaii, like I could wake up whenever I want, you know. I could quit any job whenever I wanted to and still, you know, have a place to live, you know, because I was living with my parents. I could do those things, but just because I could do it doesn't mean I should have, you know, which I was doing back then. I was fucking around too much, taking advantage of all my all the things I could do. And I never grew as a person in those last couple of years before I left to join the army, you know. This is not a recruiting video or anything. I know I'm in uniform and stuff, but it's literally just because I go to work. I got a lot of haters in my comments, you know, saying that like I shouldn't post in uniform, this and that. But listen, man, like my social media accounts are obviously not a representation of the DOD or whatever the fuck. You know, it's literally about my life, and my life, you know, my job is a soldier, so I'm not gonna like just strip off the uniform and you know, pretend like I'm not in the army just to make a few guys happy. So I document all my videos in real time so people can, you know, get to know me and so they can see the truth, you know, because a lot of people out here, they don't like to show the truth. They only like to show, you know, what other people think other people want to see. They only like to show the highlights of their life, but I want to show everything. I want to show the come up. I want to show you what it actually fucking takes to change your life, alright? Because you know, I think I've always been like a guy that had to work for everything when it comes to, you know, like the areas that I want to improve in, you know. I was never physically gifted as a kid, you know. I used to play basketball growing up, and I was like one of the shortest guys on the team, one of the skinniest guys, you know. Like I wasn't super athletic, but like I had a hunger in my heart, you know, that I was willing to bust my ass. I was willing to die in the tryouts to make the damn team, and I did make it. And that mentality carried me for the rest of my life, you know. And it carried me when I started trying to get in shape as well, you know. I was willing to like fucking like train 3 hours a day, you know, fucking eat, like drive out in the middle of the night to get food because to hit my macros, you know. They're doing things that most people would not be doing because like I was obsessed, you know. I was willing to put in the work, and you know, I went through a lot of problems during the initial period, you know, like even today, like, you know, like back then my problems were small compared to today they are now. Back then it was things like, you know, studying for exams in college while balancing training, you know, like things like managing friend groups. Some people wanted to support my goals, some people didn't. Managing parent expectations, those kind of things. But these days it's things like managing a fucking, you know, 24-hour job shift, you know. Sometimes, you know, dealing with injuries, dealing with haters in my comments, even though that is like light work to me, to be honest. But every time in life when you encounter a problem though, right, most people are going to see it as like a wall, and you never get around that wall, and that's why they are always stuck. That's why they're always salty, and that's why they're always like fucking bitching, you know. Like if you are in this position, if you're dealing with a problem in your life, whether that be your health, your finances, your relationships, like it's a test, all right? It's a fucking test for you. It's testing to see if you got what it takes to break through this plateau in life and to get you to the next level. Just like the gym. gym, problems are like weights, all right? And you need to lift them, you need to overcome them in order to reach a higher level, to get stronger as a person, all right? Not just in the gym, even though this is like super like related to that, but like even in life, you know, a lot of people do not take their personal development seriously, and it shows, you know, when you talk to them. Like, they're doing the same shit, they're working the same dead-end job that they've been working for the last fucking 5 years, talking to the same people they've been talking to since high school, who aren't doing anything with their lives, you know, and they hang around the same group of fucking losers that like fucking like promote mediocrity, promote, you know, bad habits, you know, drinking, smoking, fucking like drugs, maybe even, I don't even know, dude. Like, I don't fuck with any of these things, right? but I fucking I just see, you know, like people that do these things, and I'm like, you know, you need to, like, if you want to change your life, you obviously need to change your life. You can't like wish for something but not take action and expect a different result, all right? They call that insanity or something, you know. But yeah, man, like right now I don't feel like, you know, going on a ruck right now. I'm about to go on a ruck. I don't feel like going on a ruck right now, you know. It's like fucking, most people are in their deep REM sleep right now, while I'm out here sleep deprived with a sore throat, you probably cannot even hear me, like, making videos on my way to work, you know. But I don't care, because like I wake up with a mission every day, help people get better, and you know, prove it to myself that I can be better, I can be a leader, you know, I can change my life. I know I went from a guy that worked fucking 20 hours a week, living at home with my parents, coasting through life with no purpose, you know, no confidence. Now I'm like living on my own, you know. I work more than twice those hours on a regular day, and like, you know, it's a lonely process, you know. I had more friends, I talked to more people back then than I do now, but in order to become the best version of yourself, sometimes you need to step out of that comfortable bubble, and you need to embrace sometimes solitude, you know, because not everybody is willing to do what it takes, you know. If you want to reach your goals, whether that be fitness, you know, making more money, you know, being successful in anything in life, you need to embrace like hardship, sacrifice, and like discomfort, you know. And it will be lonely sometimes, which is kind of why I like to make these videos. So, you know, if you guys are going through that dark period, you're that grind, you guys are like, fuck, man, like those early mornings, like, you know, I want to let you know that you're not alone. I'm going through it too, and you know, a lot of people are not trying to show it or to go through it, but they just see it as like, you know, this is life, but it's not life, all right? This is a part of life. This is the current level. You're gonna overcome this. You're gonna level up and use it to become the best version of yourself, all right? You just need to take that step and overcome these problems.